Australian welcome to the Entertainment Centre here in Brisbane for our Grand Ashes final. And our glads tonight are Lightning and Vulcan, Rhino and Belter, Storm Hunter, Warrior and Flame, Blade and Wolf. It's the Grand Ashes final tonight, and standing between our contenders and some fabulous prizes, the combined might of our Australian and British gladiators. So without further ado, please welcome our hosts, Kimberly Joseph and John Fashnu.
Good evening and welcome to the final show of the Ashes series. Now tonight we have two female challengers from Great Britain and two Australian male finalists, of course, from Australia. And this means that neither country will win the Ashes outright. But John, there's still a lot to play for tonight.
Oh, definitely, Kimberly. So let's get on with the competition and let's meet our female challengers tonight. From the UK, Eunice Huthart and Kerryn Sampey.
These two remarkable athletes have beaten the best Australia's had to offer. As you can see, Merseyside Eunice has the edge, height and weight-wise, but Kerryn from Yorkshire is by far the younger.
Come on, girls!
Eunice, you are becoming a professional at this, aren't you?
Yeah, that's right, Kimberly. I think I've done this that many times now. Whenever I'm walking down the street and I hear a whistle, it makes me run up the nearest wall.
I don't blame you. Now, are you surprised tonight to be up against Kerryn, who you've been up against before in the British Gladiators?
Yeah, I think Kerryn will be looking to kick my butt tonight because we both met in the British final and it was really close. It was all on the travelator at the end and I fell down and then Kerryn fell down and then I fell down again. And it was like, crowd were like, oh my God! But then I just pipped Kerryn. I got to the top, went through the paper burst and it was just awesome.
Okay, so you won that competition. Now, are you going to do it again tonight?
Well, I'm going to perform at my best and if Kerryn wins, I've been beat by the best,
So we look forward to a fantastic challenge. It's been great having you both in Australia. Good luck tonight.
Thank you very much.
Wow, Kerryn, she doesn't scare you, does she?
Actually, I think she's come back to haunt me because this is the exact same scenario as what was in the British.
Tell me, have you had time to do much training out here?
Well, out here we've haven't had much time to do training. I've been training at home quite a bit though.
But you know all her weak spots, don't you?
Well, to tell you the truth, I don't think she's got any.
Wow, but you think you're going to win today, don't you?
Yeah, I'm pretty confident. I'm just going to go out and enjoy myself, keep smiling.
That's exactly what you should do. Okay, Eunice and Kerry, get yourselves ready. Let's hear it for Eunice and Kerry.
And now let's welcome our male finalists, both from Australia, Andrew Halliday and David Wallis.
The guys met before in the final of the Australian domestic competition. Andrew from Melbourne, as you can see, is the taller and heavier of the two. He's also 4 years younger than Sydney-based David.
Wow, that's pretty swifty. Hey, Andrew and David, that's a nice line in clothes.
Well, John, we know that you wear your waistcoat all the time, so we thought it'd make you feel nice and comfortable here in Australia and wear one of our own.
Well, you certainly made me feel a lot more at home, that's for sure. So, Andrew, how are you feeling? It's the big one.
I'm really looking forward to tonight. You know, David's a good contender, and I'm looking forward to, you know, hopefully knocking him off tonight as well.
Now, you two look like you've got a good rapport together. Tell me, are you friends offset?
Well, David and I, you know, share our own ideas on the games and so forth, so it's going to make it a little bit difficult trying to weave my way around these games because he knows a lot of things I do.
It's going to be a heck of a final. Okay, thanks very much, Andrew.
Well, welcome back, David. You're up against Andrew yet again.
It's like a bad nightmare. It's coming back again.
It certainly is. Now tell us, how are you finding the British Gladiators?
I tell you, they breed them big over there.
They certainly do. They're pretty big boys, aren't they?
Yeah, so, I mean, I haven't got the size, so I just have to try and outwit them and outpace them. That's all I can do.
Well, we know you're very strong and very agile. Good luck to you tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome from Australia, David and Andrew. Good luck, guys.
Andrew's girlfriend, Annie. Oh, I wouldn't have put it quite like that.
Well, this is the final we've all been waiting for. So let the games begin.
Gauntlet.
10 points for running the Australian gauntlet in less than 20 seconds, 5 points for under 25.
Last time Eunice ran the gauntlet, she did it in 14.3 seconds. Let's see if she can repeat that performance up against Flame, Storm, Delta, Blade, and from the UK, Lightning. Over to you, Mike Whitney.
Challenger, are you ready? Gladiators, are you ready? 3, 2, 1.
Well, you'll know that Eunice loves this event. And there's why. Straight through Flame, skittles over Storm. Storm with the afters. Next, it's Delta. Eunice runs, rings round her. Blade with the pads, sent flying. Next, Lightning. Can't hold her. Eunice is there. An incredible time from an incredible athlete. Eunice, with so much adrenaline pumped up, she's got to go for a lap of honour just to burn it off. What a performance. Well, blink and you'll miss it again. Eunice snuffs out the Flame. Storm gets blown away with ease. The Delta lady is all washed up. Blade is cut down to size. And even Lightning struck out.
Last week, you did 14.3 seconds. This week, 13.5 seconds. 10 points. Well, Eunice has shown us the way through. Now let's see how Kerryn does. Challenger, are you ready? Gladiators, are you ready? 3, 2,
So
1.
it's Kerryn into the passageway of persecution. And barges Flame and puts her out. Storm with the power pads. No damage down there. Oh, Delta skittled over again. And Blade much sharper. This particular run, good work with the power pads, eating up valuable seconds. Next is Lightning, through her like a revolving door and straight into the points. Kerryn very pleased with that, so are the crowd. And so is Lightning. Well, while we wait for confirmation of her time, let's look at the closing stages again. Blade managed to get a handle on Kerryn, but poor old Lightning didn't get a look in. Great run for Kerryn. Let's join Kimberly now for a confirmation of the time.
Kerryn, you're just a little bit happy there. 19 seconds, 10 points.
I wasn't looking forward to this one. I'm so happy I've got the 10 points.
I'm sure you are. Well, I was thinking when you were standing at the beginning, I thought, oh no, like Eunice has primed them. The Gladiators are going to be angry because she made it through so quickly, but you did it too.
Yeah, that just goes to show that me and Eunice are the best of the contenders.
And who can argue with that? All those scores, 10 apiece after the first game. Next, the men.
And the first of our male challengers to face the Gladiators from Australia is Andrew. And he's going to be facing Rhino, Warrior, Hunter, and Wolf. And Vulcan. Over to John Anderson. Contender ready! Gladiators ready! 3, 2...
Well, Andrew snatched 5 points from the gauntlet last week, and he meets Rhino. Oh, and has his hide easily tanned by Andrew. Warrior's next, really throwing his weight around, and Andrew's steamrolled by Warrior, back into the fray, struggling with Warrior. These British Gladiators certainly giving the Australian contenders a hard time. There he is with the ramrod, that Hunter, and the crash barrier there. Finally through, but into Wolf, and mercifully, the clock saves him from too much punishment at the claws of the Hound from Hell. Oh, a little bit of afters there from the Wolf, clearly angry at not being able to get a piece of the Australian contender. John Anderson is furious.
What are they on about? What's happening here?
I don't know. Wolfie's got something, wrong with him tonight.
Yeah, he certainly has. He and Vulcan were preening themselves before they even started. Vanity, thy name is Vulcan and Wolf, I think. Now, look, you didn't make it through this time. You only just managed to scrape through last time. This is a hard game for you, isn't it?
Oh, coming up against an international team makes it World of difference.
Okay, well, Andrew, not such a great run to start with, but you've still got 3 games left, so don't despair because there's more to come. Good luck.
Thanks.
Ladies and gentlemen, please thank Andrew. Now, Vulcan, Wolf, come over here. Now, tell me, what's all this with the preening before we start?
Well, you know, because the camera's always going to be on me and Mr. Wolf, so I'll make sure I get him to check my hair first. And I want to thank Mr. Wolf for stopping Andrew, because I don't want to get my nails dirty anyway. You know, I don't want to do anything tonight.
Oh, that's great, Vulcan. Now, Wolf, what is this? I mean, you and Vulcan were arch enemies before. Now you seem to be bosom buddies.
Well, he's as bad as me, which makes him good.
I think he's finally flipped.
Andrew didn't make it through, but now let's see if David can do it up against the 5 gladiators in gauntlets.
Contender, ready! Gladiators, ready! 3, 2,
Ahead of him, more tough masculine muscle than in an average episode of Prisoner Cell Block H. Rhino, through Rhino into Warrior. And Warrior snapping the pads on the surfer like a giant clamshell, smashing him from side to side and all sorts. Next, it's Hunter. Puts up no entry sign. They shall not pass. David shoving him, barging him back into Wolf's sector. Once again, the clock will beat the contender. Let's hope Wolf doesn't get the chance to do the afters routine. There's the whistle. And the crowd not happy. They took a dislike to Wolf the first time they saw him, so there's nothing much wrong with their judgment. Flash is there.
David, I must admit, it did look to everybody, I think, that you were being held down.
Yeah, I felt as though I was being pinned, and I could hear the ref saying back off, but nothing was happening, so I just kept steaming on through.
Warrior?
Problem is, John, sometimes the contenders, they try and crawl underneath you along the floor. And really, if they're going to come and play that, I don't really think they should be here, but I think they should just come straight at you. And let's see if they can get through, John.
Warrior forced to go low early on as David was discarded by Rhino, but David bobs up and gets stuck in again. And it's Warrior who ends up on the deck. Then Hunter meted out the punishment, but there was no sign of holding from either gladiator.
OK, Johnny, can you tell us what was your decision? You've seen the replay.
On balance, we feel that the Gladiators played it fair and square, and we rule in favour of the Gladiators. No points to the contender.
Wow.
Well, that decision a real crowd pleaser. As the Gladiators celebrate that 0-0 scoreline after one game, let's hit the beach. And what a beach to hit. Surfers' paradise on Queensland's Gold Coast, where Warrior is about to indulge in one of Australia's favourite pastimes.
They say surfing is a really difficult thing to get the hang of, but I'm going to show you just how easy it is for a gladiator.
I'm on the northeast coast of England with the North Sea, but I'm not. I'm on the northeast coast of Australia, the Gold Coast, otherwise known as Surfer's Paradise. You know, of course, where there's surfing, you need lifeguards. We're going to meet a lifeguard right now who is an Ironman. Not just any Ironman, the Ironman. Craig Hackett, pleased to meet you.
Pleased to meet you.
What exactly is Ironman?
Well, Ironman is a famous Australian sport that takes place on the Australian beaches around Australia during the summertime. So, I mean, it's also an international event. Yeah. It's basically like a triathlon. You have your running, your swimming, your board paddling, and your ski paddling.
See, in Gladiators, we work for 30 seconds to a minute maximum duration. It's complete output, so we have to train quite a bit differently.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a lot of hard work, a lot of hard training involved. Just like any sport at a professional level, you've got to commit yourself. It can be a long race, or it can be a short race. I mean, our long races can last up to 4.5, 5 hours. Our short ones can last anywhere between 10 to 12 minutes.
Have you got any advice for us back in England on how to get fit or become an Ironman even?
Yeah, move.
Move.
Or become
I
a gladiator.
I'll become a gladiator. Craig, thanks for your
No
time.
worries.
As green and gold goes toe-to-toe with red, white and blue.
Here comes the bashes of the ashes in the duel.
30 seconds of slugging it out with 10 points for a clean win, 5 if you can stay the distance.
And the first of our female challengers is Eunice. And she's going to be facing Flame.
Flame, 9 kilos heavier and 2 centimetres taller than Eunice.
Over to our Ashes referee, Mike Whitney.
Challenger, are you ready? Gladiator, are you ready? On guard. Hey,
when they duelled last week, Eunice scored 5 for going the distance with Flame. She knows she had to dig deep into her reserves of resilience to survive 30 seconds. And Flame is cooking again tonight, unleashing an onslaught of relentless pressure. Eunice finding it hard to put together anything resembling an attack. In fact, Eunice had better raise her work rate or she may be denied the points. Eunice, a champion kickboxer, an international gladiator champion, but Eunice has more than met her match in Flame tonight. I think secretly she'll be glad she went the distance. And Flame, certainly hot stuff, the biggest of the female Australian gladiators. Looking at the amazing action from Flame's helmet cam, Flame sticks in so many remorseless blows, it's tough for Eunice to do anything other than defend.
Well, Eunice, last time we saw you up there against Flame, you managed to last for 5 points and you just did the same thing again.
Yeah, it's tough up there. I wanted to attack more, but when you get hit so hard to recover, by the time you're recovering to form an attack, you can't hit again, so it's just so hard up there.
OK, well, as you just said, you weren't sure whether you were attacking enough. Mike Whitney, was she indeed attacking or not?
yes, we conferred, John Anderson, myself, my assistant referee for this game, and we have ruled that Eunice did not attack enough.
Okay.
So Eunice can have no points.
No points. Disappointed with that?
Yeah, I'm disappointed, but ref's final decision, so that's it.
Flame, she was very tough. I noticed you're puffing and panting there. That doesn't happen to you very often.
It doesn't happen very often. Eunice is a great challenger and she's got a lot of heart, especially to go up against Flame twice. But I was really prepared to turn up the heat tonight on Gladiators.
Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Eunice and our Aussie gladiator, Flame. Well played.
Flame has fired up the resolve of the Australian gladiators. Meanwhile, Eunice disappointed, but a fair decision. Well, we know the next up, Storm, blows hot and cold, but here's what her challenger, Kerryn, has to say.
On duel, I've got Storm. I think it's going to be a bit of a grudge match because I don't think she was too happy about me beating her on the suspension bridge, so I think she's out for revenge tonight, so I'll have to see how that one goes.
So Kerryn from the UK is going up against our Aussie gladiator, Storm.
Storm 1 kilo heavier than Kerryn, but 5 centimetres shorter.
Challenger, are you ready? Gladiator, are you ready? On guard. 3.
Well, Kerryn is a tough cookie, and she knows she can take Storm. She mentioned her victory on suspension bridge in the first Ashes clash with Roundhouse, but a storm warning has been issued, and she's up there to salvage her reputation tonight. And Storm, like a cyclone, rattling Kerryn's shutters. But full credit to the British girl. And in trouble with a bit of balance. Oh, she nearly goes then. And Storm fails to make the best of that. But she comes back, dishing out some stinging jabs there on the whistle. Storm steps across, but it's all over. Kerryn weathered the storm. 5 points the hard way. A good, gritty display there. Storm's helmet cam reveals just how close she came to toppling Kerryn, but also how durable the Yorkshire lass was to survive. And comes straight back with a jab and a hook.
Well, Mike, you better come in. Tell us, what's your decision?
Yes, once again, we've had to adjudicate whether we thought that the challenger actually attacked enough. It was a very line ball decision, and although you look like you're in a negative position all the time, we felt that you tried to attack, and we're going to give you 5 points.
Well done, Kerryn. Now, Kerryn, in the show last week, you actually beat Storm on suspension bridge, am I right?
Yeah, not through sheer power, through tactics, but that one up there is sheer power, and I took a lot of heavy blows. I just managed to stand through my own balance. I did try to attack as hard as I could. I couldn't have done any better.
I must say, you were taking a lot of blows, as you said, and it was touch and go with the referees. Bit of luck on your side there. Storm.
Well, I hear the weather's bad in England, but that's an Australian storm for you, Kerryn, and she did really well to stay up there because she was in such an awkward position. I don't know how you fight like that.
Did you think she was going to go down?
Oh, yeah, lots of times. I said, one more, and she just stayed up there, so that was very well done.
After 2 games, Kerryn takes the lead, 15 points to Eunice's 10. Next, the guys.
And now, first up on duel is Andrew from Australia, and he's up against the hunky Hunter.
10 centimetres taller and a massive 31 kilograms heavier than his challenger, Andrew.
And to start duel, here's John Anderson.
Contender, ready! Gladiators, ready!
For Andrew, a return bout against Hunter in this Ashes series, hoping to avenge the KO he copped last week. Oh, and Hunter straight to work. And Andrew looking sharp. Second guessing a lot of Hunter's work. And Hunter having to work that a little bit harder. Couple of jabs in there. Andrew better keep his chin down. Oh, just as I say that, he flicks him under the chin and onto the mat. Well, it was the uppercut. Another marvellous weapon in Hunter's boxer tricks there. We look at the replay. It was unexpected. Andrew moves well on the platform, avoiding a lot of punishment, but Hunter sees the gap and gives him some stick.
Well, Andrew, what is going on?
I think I stayed up there longer this time. What do you think?
Tough guy, eh?
Yeah, Hunter really hits hard, and it's hard to duck and weave his blows because they come thick and fast.
Andrew, you've got to score some points. Come on.
Yeah, look, you did right there, Fash.
Hunter, full respects to you. Very good.
Thanks very much, John. These are the finals. There's 2 Australians against each other. We've brought with us from England the best of the British beef. We're going to make it as hard as possible for them to win. So that's why we're hitting hard. They're going to get no punch, John.
Let's hear it for Andrew and the Huntsman. Well, David's got a real chance of going ahead, but unfortunately, he's up against the Rhino.
Rhino a little taller than his challenger David, but a hefty 30 kilos heavier.
Contender, ready! Gladiators, ready!
David faced the Rhino on suspension bridge a fortnight ago. How's he going to fare on the pugil platform? Let's get ready to rumble. And David is mixing it already, and some good shots to the solar plexus there from Rhino. Oh, what happened there? He steps back into fresh air. That was a nasty fall. He could have broken his neck if he had one. Well, the crowd are up there. In fact, David's so pleased. He's jumped for joy. He's treating us to his kangaroo impression. Rhino applauds him, and no wonder. Right from the whistle, Rhino was jabbing, pushing, swinging, but David cast a few sharp hooks and caught and landed a Rhino.
David, the crowd is going wild. They really approve of that win.
Thanks, and more of it. I love it.
I'm sure you do. Now, does that get the adrenaline pumping or what?
It's exactly what I needed, I'll tell you.
Rhino, has that ever happened to you before?
Never happened to me before. He done really well. I stepped back and there was no board. Next thing I was off.
Now, this is a big boy. So, David, you have done exceptionally well. 10 points. Well done.
After 2 games, David is finally off the mark. He leads Andrew 10 points to 0.
The prize is great, but the price is steep in the pyramid.
The Ashes. The Ashes.
Britain has Ben Nevis and Australia has Mount Kosciuszko, but neither are as tough a climb as the pyramid.
There's 10 points waiting for whoever gets to the top in under 60 seconds, 5 points for second to the top.
Our British challengers Eunice and Kerryn will climb the pyramid against our Australian gladiators Delta and Storm.
As you can see, Delta, the younger of the two, with her challenger Eunice slightly heavier. On the other side of the pyramid, Storm's 5 centimetres shorter than Kerryn, but a kilo heavier.
Challengers, are you ready? Gladiators, are you ready? 3, 2, 1.
Eunice on the left climbs to face Delta. This is Eunice's first pyramid performance in the Ashes, and she breaks left, but Delta's very good on the wing. Storm ties up Kerryn and takes her for a pile-driving trip to the max. Kerryn scored 10 in her last pyramid. Storm knows it. Storm recovers to get back on patrol. Kerryn goes wide. Oh, and a terrible error from the Australian. Kerryn climbs above the Storm. Delta can't interfere. 10 points to Kerryn. She's managed the double on pyramid, and again the Storm is quelled, and again Eunice crash lands with Delta. Eunice breaks left, there's some space, Storm gets out of the way. Eunice really needs the points now. That 10 puts Kerryn 15 points ahead of her. Eunice trying the left edge, but Delta's there with the intercept. In this event, like a giant step aerobics workout, Eunice takes another flyer, and Delta is waiting for her. This is a rerun almost of the 1994 British Ladies Final, which Eunice won, but the scales dipping in favour of Kerryn this time. As Delta, anticipating her every move, takes her for another roll. There's the whistle. A superb result for Kerryn, but an energy-sapping disappointment for Eunice. Oh, look at that. Kerryn celebrates. But let's enjoy that again. Storm's very fast to recover from the fall, gets up a couple of steps, but finds herself outmanoeuvred by Kerryn, who's got speed and space. Storm's desperate dive was in vain as Kerryn scrambled to the top to become queen of the pyramid.
Kerryn, you are on a roll tonight. 10 points, you got to the top.
Yeah, I'm really pleased about that. We had a bit of a struggle at the bottom in Storm, but I just kept running and she kept nipping at my heels.
Now you're on a score of 25. Eunice, you're on 10. This doesn't usually happen, does it? You're the champion.
Well, it's how it goes in the show, innit?
Okay, so were you disappointed with your effort?
No, because I put 100% in.
I'm sure you did. It certainly looked like it because the Gladiators are puffing and panting. Storm, you don't usually play this game.
No, but I don't have any excuses. I mean, I know where I went wrong, and I don't think I'll let it happen again.
No, I don't think you will either. Now, Delta, this is your game, but Eunice was a very tough challenger.
I'm hurting, believe me. We are the best of the best. I mean, and so these challenges, they're fantastic. Eunice was so determined. I could hear it in her voice. And well done, girls, and good luck.
So after 3 games, while Kerryn climbs to 25 and Eunice stays on 10, let's go back to the beach.
Well, here I am in Surfers Paradise on the Gold Coast in Queensland. And this is a novel service for those of us who want to achieve the ultimate tan. Our specialist foam tanning service. Al, what made you think of this idea?
Well, there was a man who used to do it many, many years ago, and I thought it was a great idea to keep up.
And how long have you been doing this?
22 years.
So how many bodies do you reckon that you tan each season?
Well, years ago it used to be around the 600 a day, and now it's down to about 20, because everybody's terrified of skin tan.
Well, Al, what do you think of my tan?
I think your tan is beautiful, but it's pretty natural, isn't it?
Thank goodness. Cheers.
At the bottom of the pyramid, just waiting to fight their way up, is Andrew and David. And at the top is Rhino and the Wolfman.
Rhino and Andrew evenly matched height-wise, but Rhino weighing a solid 29 kilos more than the Australian challenger. On the other side, Wolf finds himself with a 5 centimetre height advantage and just a 6 kilo weight advantage over David.
Contenders, ready! Gladiators, ready! 3, 2, 1.
David on the right, buried Warrior on the pyramid last time out and scored 10, and it looks like he's caught the Wolf napping. He's up for another 10 now. Wolf's there. Can he hold him? David a fingertip away from victory. Meanwhile, Rhino marks his man as Wolf ties up David like a mummy. And sends it flying. Rhino tying up Andrew. And David makes another bid for glory. Rhino with a takedown. Maybe Andrew can seize this chance. Rhino holding. Andrew on the break. Wolf running David to the centre, and in fairness, this is a superb defensive display by the Wolfman, but don't let him hear that I said that. And Rhino pulling Andrew's leg. Rhino always has been a leg man, but not quite like this. John Anderson urging Rhino to try to throw Andrew from the pyramid rather than just waste time holding him. Oh, I bet Andrew's pleased. Rhino obeyed the ref. Andy Norgate getting stuck in there to prize the Rhino off. And David looks to be going nowhere fast. The clock's running down, and so's David. Well, there's the whistle as Wolf puts his feet up for a well-earned rest. Relentless defensive work from the British Gladiators. Andrew had a massive struggle with Rhino, who really took advantage of his extra weight, and gravity did the rest. After 3 games, Andrew 0, David 10. Now, more fun in the sun with the boys. Looks beautiful, but let's hear what Hunter and Rhino think of it.
It's great to be here. The people here have been very, very friendly, really treated us well. I think they're quite intrigued by the beef, the big boys. The food has been fantastic. Great seafood, great steaks, raisin toast for breakfast, which I thoroughly recommend.
Beautiful sights and sceneries. The people are really courteous, lovely, fabulous country.
Every bunch of heroes has its hangers-on, and the Gladiators are no exception, especially in Hang Tough.
10 points if the contender gets across to the Gladiators' platform, 5 for hanging tough in the scoring zone. Earlier, Eunice told me about her Hang Tough opponent.
Blade on Hang Tough is Australia's equivalent of our lightning. So, as it happens, I can't even do a handstand, so my gymnastic ability is pretty minimal, so... Yeah, I don't fancy my chances, but you know me, I never go down without a good fight.
And first up is Eunice. And she's going to be up against a Blade.
Blade cuts a fantastic figure on Hang Tough, but shorter and lighter than Eunice.
Challenger, are you ready? Gladiator, are you ready? 3, 2, 1.
A fortnight ago, Blade convincingly stripped Kerryn Sampey from the rings. Now she's looking to do the same thing to Eunice. This is Eunice's first Hang Tough down under. She was never very confident on this event at home, where at least the rings are the other way up. And Eunice just outside the scoring zone. The Blade very sharp and close. Doing a bit of range finding. Here she comes again, swoops in. Gets the legs round her. Oh! And Eunice bails out! Victory to the Australian Gladiator. No points for Eunice, and Blade drops in to offer her condolences. Looking at it again, Blade swings in, grabs Eunice's top, tries to get a grip with the legs, can't snap them shut. Eunice one-ringed and drops out of the points. She knew it wasn't her event. Eunice again fails to add points to her scoreboard.
Eunice just couldn't stay up there up against Blade. So now, let's see if Kerryn has more luck against our Aussie gladiator, Delta.
Well, hello, Delta working hard. This is her 3rd event tonight. The Aussie has a weight advantage of 5 kilos.
Challenger, are you ready? Gladiator, are you ready? 3, 2, 1.
Well, Delta in her silver suit, looking a bit like Dangerous Brian, swings out. She single-handedly prevented Eunice from scoring any points on Pyramid. Now she's looking to do the same thing with Kerryn. Kerryn electing to go wide down the right-hand side of the grid, just short of the scoring zone there, and looks to have stalled herself a little. Well, trying to grab the red ring to be in with a shout of some points. This looks ominous. Delta swinging by, turns quickly, and oh! Grabs her shirt, locks in the scissors. She's locked her up now. It's only a matter of time before she strips her down. Kerryn will have to hang tough for an eternity now to score 5. No, it's all over. She's gone. Delta waves to the fans. Good, purposeful job from her. This Australian crowd very pleased with the way their gladiators have performed. Delta ties Kerryn up with those long legs, works on one arm, goes for the other, pulls herself up, and once Kerryn gave up one hand, she was only going in one direction. Superb demonstration of hang tough skills by Delta.
Oh, Kerryn, unlucky.
Yeah, it seemed everywhere I went, Delta seemed to be able to go.
Well, when you started off, you looked so comfortable. Being a gymnast as well, you look very, very used to being up there.
Yeah, I'm not making any excuses, but I don't actually do the rings, but I had a good go and she was very good.
Feel confident for the Eliminator?
Yeah, I've always felt confident. I'm going to go out, do my best. Can't ask any more.
Great stuff. Delta, well done.
Thank you very much. She's a great challenger. All I could hear her say was, "Don't follow me, I'm coming down." And I thought, I won't. So, well done and good luck in the Eliminator.
After 4 games, Kerryn leads Eunice by 15 points. Back to Warrior and Wolf on the beach.
Originally, when I first knew we were going to Australia, I was imagining neighbours, but it's it's nothing like that.
When I landed in Sydney, it was absolutely freezing. I packed 16 pairs of swimming trunks, 10 vests and 4 bottles of sunscreen. But since we've come up here to Queensland, the weather is wonderful. It's like summer at home without the rain. So, don't want to go home, really. And I am available for work for the Australian Tourist Board.
That's one opinion. Here's Andrew's opinion of Wolf.
Wolfie's really good at rings. You know, I don't think there's many better. That's a game of tactics. You know, you got to play it smart, and if I play it smart, then I'll get by, and hopefully I hang on if he grabs onto me.
Now let's see how Andrew goes up against Britain's bad boy, Wolf.
Are you sure about boy? Well, Wolf's certainly taller and heavier and older than Andrew.
Contender, ready! Gladiator, ready!
Well, Wolf embarrassed himself on the rings against David 2 weeks ago in that first Ashes heat. I'm sure he won't repeat that mistake again against Andrew. Andrew is keeping his distance, looking to be weighing up the Wolf's tactics. Either that or he can't stand the smell of the Wolf's deodorant. Oh, Wolf swings in, feet high round Andrew's shoulders, moving and shaking. Oh, the Wolf has done it again. He's let him slip through his fingers. Exactly the same happened with David, if you remember, 2 weeks ago. The contender deliberately lets a ring go, so Wolfie just slips right off and onto the mats. And now Andrew's left with a free swing for Wolf's platform. And the Wolf is not a happy bunny, but Andrew's got plenty of time to swing out for max points. Andrew waves the Wolf goodbye and sets about getting those 10 points on the board. Plenty of time to showboat, swings in. A bit untidy at the end there, but 10 points for Andrew Halliday. Wolf dejected and Andrew delighted. Wolf swings up, legs high, brings the full weight down, but Andrew slips in with the one ring technique to embarrass the Wolf.
Well done, Andrew. You needed that. You know, you Aussies are really giving Wolf a hard time. Last week, David, almost the same thing. Unfortunately, he didn't get into the scoring zone. Did very well.
Tell you what, Fash, I really need that. And thanks to the Wolf, back in contention, guys. Come on!
You certainly are. 10 points each. Well done, Andrew.
Oh, nice acting, Fash.
Can we have a friendly word with you? This is the second time it's happened, Wolf. Are your hands slippery? We all want to know.
Well done.
Whoa, that's more like it. That's the sort of gladiator we always knew he was.
And that's for your acting, Fash.
Well, almost, anyway.
Exactly. Oh, well, there's an offer he doesn't see every day. Oh, he obliges. Oh, caught you smiling. David's next up. Here's what he had to say about his opponent.
I meet Hunter on the rings. He's got a different advantage. He's got a lot more height than I have. But hopefully I can just nip between the rings and try and evade those long arms of his, because I think once he gets a hold of me, I think I'll be history.
And the second of our male challengers is David. And he's going to be up against a gladiator who always catches his prey, the Hunter.
Hunter, 13 centimetres taller than David, but 32 kilos heavier. Down to John.
Contender, ready! Gladiator, ready! 3, 2, 1.
The you've got to hand it to Hunter, how he seems to master every event despite his massive size up there on the rings. David with those big, confident swings, looking to get himself in the scoring zone. There he goes, got a red ring. He's watching Hunter's every move, knows he's currently level with Andrew. Hunter spins and attacks. Oh, David is tough to grab as a bushman's tucker bag. Oh, in fact, David looking to have a pop at the Hunter there. There's legs and all sorts going on up there. It's not pretty. David still comes away unscathed. And Hunter looks in all sorts of trouble. Can't seem to get round and face David. David traverses nicely to get out of Hunter's way. Only a few seconds left to hang on. He's elected to hang tough for the 5. And the best Hunter can do now is defend his platform. But David is going to grab those points to retake the lead over Andrew. Superbly skillful hang tough from David. The crowd will appreciate that. There they are, appreciating him. In the replay, David swings into Hunter, but the great British gladiator is having so much trouble sorting himself out, he can't capitalise on David's error.
David, you just gained yourself 5 points.
I needed those points. I didn't quite have the momentum to get to the other side, but I was happy just to stay away from Hunter.
Yeah, you guys were just hanging around there for a while, weren't you, Hunter?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard work on those rings. He did very well. We should have a good eliminator now.
We certainly should. After 4 games, Andrew finally scores 10. David goes to 15.
We've seen the Aussies against the Brits as the challengers took on the gladiators.
That's right, but now the challengers are going head-to-head to determine who will be the Ashes champions in the eliminator.
Ashes.
We've seen the pairings before in the finals. Will the tables be turned in
the eliminator? And let's not forget, the Ashes champions will ride off on these magnificent machines. Now let's join Kimberly at the start.
Well, this is the final eliminator for this Ashes series. Kerryn, you love the eliminator.
Yes, I do, but I'm not usually the one in front. I'm usually the one chasing.
This is true. Well, tonight, you have a 7.5-second start on Eunice, so you must be happy about that.
Yeah, happy, but in the British final, I had 7 seconds deficit on Eunice, so tables have turned. I nearly got Eunice. Eunice can nearly get me.
Well, we know you're very fast, but Eunice, you are exceptionally fast at this. 1 minute and 5 seconds, is that your best time?
Yeah, back home, yeah. So.
Okay, so are you going to do it again tonight?
I want to do my best, I can tell you.
Well, that's all we can ask of you. Ladies and gentlemen, let's start the eliminator, and here's Mike Whitney to do so.
Kerryn, you will go on my whistle. Eunice, you will go on John's whistle. Challengers, are you ready? 3, 2, 1.
Kerryn Sampey, 21 years old, from Yorkshire, sets off on the eliminator. She saw off the Australian challenge of Kerry Warman a fortnight ago. And now here comes Eunice Huthart from Merseyside. Last week she beat Australia's Nellie Baker to make this an all-British ladies Ashes final. Kerryn on the hand ladder, the fastest eliminator here in Australia, 1 minute 16. She'll be looking for revenge because it was Eunice back in 1994 that beat her in the British Gladiators final. Eunice comes across the hand ladder and the rollers to join Kerryn on the cargo net. Kerryn hits the top of the net. It's a slow haul up, but a fast ride down as she sprints for the zip line, puts herself up and launches herself into thin air. Looks to be maintaining her lead over Eunice. Superb landing. Eunice is struggling a little on the nets. Kerryn on the balance beam, a little hesitant there, but determined to beat Eunice on this eliminator. Here comes Eunice, and now only a travelator stands between Kerryn and that motorcycle first prize as she pumps up the travelator for the Ashes title. She's taken her time, but she gets up there. She's done it. A great eliminator for Kerryn. In fact, a great show. Swings through and shatters her personal best time over this course. John Anderson urging Eunice to take on the travelator. He certainly frightened me up there. Eunice sprints to the top. A great character with a great future. Her first ever defeat on Gladiators in a final. Eunice swings home, this time a runner-up. And the Aussie crowd acknowledge these two great British sportswomen.
Congratulations, you are a winner of our Gladiators final! Well done, Kerryn. And here is a beautiful trophy to go with it. And what a bike, it's all yours, eh?
Unbelievable, absolutely speechless.
Well done, congratulations. Unlucky, Eunice, but you're not going to go away empty-handed because you two have got a beautiful runners-up trophy. Well done.
Thanks, John.
Not your day today. You've won a few in your time, haven't you?
Yeah, well, all good champions come to an end.
Okay, thanks very much. Let's hear it for Eunice.
This Gladiators contender legend faces defeat with grace.
Well, we're here. You both know exactly what to expect. David, you've got 2.5 seconds head start. Andrew being your best friend, but right now you've got to be the worst of enemies. Can you do it?
Well, that's a fact. We've got to be worst of enemies because I want what's at the end of the travelator.
Andrew?
Well, I'd be lying if I said I'm not apprehensive about taking this course on. I'm looking forward to, you know, like I said before, bettering my time, and if I do that, hopefully I come out with the goods.
David, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Andrew, are you ready?
Yep.
Let's hand you over to John Anderson.
Australia's David Wallis versus fellow countryman Andrew Halliday. Andrew beat David in their domestic final. Will the tables be turned in this eliminator like the ladies was?
David, you will go on my whistle. Andrew, you will go on Mike's whistle. 3, 2, 1.
David sets off. We beat our own Phil Campbell in his heat. Andrew starts his run. You'll recall he defeated Matt Beat last week. David races for the road, swings up to it very fast. Andrew on the road, also fast. David tentative with his handbike. Andrew will punish that delay. In fact, Andrew has pulled the lead back considerably. A much more effective pedaling technique on that bike. Andrew touches down first and bounds across the rollers. David trying to get back into contention. Andrew with a clear lead on the scramble nets. Both guys climbing incredibly quickly. Andrew hits the top first, and the time is very fast. Races to the furthest zip, grabs the T-piece and launches himself down the line. As Andrew Halliday lands, David Wallis sets off. Good landing. Andrew now on the balance beam as David comes right up behind him. Andrew looking confident, very quick over the balance beam, touches down and straight up the trampoline. Oh, he slips! Can he overtake him and snatch victory? No, he can't! David has slipped as well. Andrew again. Up that punishing hill from hell. Oh, he's gone again. David pumps it up. Oh, his head's too low and he goes. And the crowd ecstatic. Andrew again, this time with a longer run-up. Has he got the power? He's there! Andrew Halliday, the Australian Ashes champion, swings through and into the history books. The crowd delirious. Here comes David, pushes himself through the paint barrier and up the travelator. He's there. A gritty and gutsy performance as he swings home. So the boys' Ashes goes to the Australians and the girls' Ashes to the Brits as Andrew gives David a lift over to his prize.
What an incredible effort. Andrew, you are the final winner of the Ashes series. Well done.
Whoa!
Was that travelator a killer or what?
Baby on. Sorry. Oh, that was a killer. Well, we both knew that it was going to take one of us out. Took me out, didn't it?
Well, honestly, it could have been either of you at that point. David, you had trouble with the handbike, didn't you?
Yeah, that took a bit out of me. My elbows are very, very sore. But Andrew was just fitter at the end.
Well, you guys have been fantastic challengers. You should both be proud of you. Here's your fantastic trophy. And David, here's yours. Congratulations to both of you.
Well, we've seen some terrific athletes in action in this Ashes series. The honours even between Australia and Great Britain. Now, the party can really get going.
Well, John, it's very sad to say goodbye to you, but let me just say one more thing. Let's do it again real soon.
I'll agree with that.
Let's thank our Australian and British gladiators. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you soon. Bye.
For safety reasons, do not attempt to recreate any of the events you have seen on Gladiators.
The Eliminator has been reset and is ready and waiting. Let's hope those thighs are up to the Travelator. Join the team once again for more Gladiators next on Challenge, whilst over on Pick, the fight against drugs, immigration and terrorism continues in Border Security USA.